This is Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. From the corporate office to the cab of a truck, they're here to inspire and empower women in all professions. So gear down, sit back, and enjoy.
Welcome to Women Road Warriors. We're an award-winning show that works to inspire and empower women in every profession. Our goal is to power women on their road to success. We tackle all kinds of topics and work to encourage women to be their very best with informative guests and women who've been champions. I'm Shelley.
And I'm Kathy.
No topic is taboo on our show. We tackle the tough topics along with the not-so-tough topics, and we like to feature experts and celebrities who can assist women in being the very best they can be. We've all heard people talk about angels and the term guardian angel. Many religions talk about angels. But what are angels? Who are guardian angels? Do they really exist? What impact do they have? Lorna Byrne has been seeing angels since she was a baby. She's the author of the international bestseller, Angels in My Hair, the true story of a modern-day Irish mystic. Her book, Angels in My Hair, Stairways to Heaven, A Message of Hope from the Angels, and Love from Heaven, have been translated into 30 languages. Lorna has an amazing story to tell. She sees angels physically, much like we see other people. Lorna teaches people that everyone has divine wisdom inside of us and shows them how to tap into it and connect with our very own guardian angel. We have Lorna with us today to explore these amazing topics. Welcome, Lorna. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's my pleasure to be with both of you and to be on your show. So thank you very much. And
Yes.
I'm thanking you as well from the angels.
Well, thank you, Lorna.
Thank you.
You've got an amazing story. I'm sure over the years you run into people who doubt this sort of thing. What exactly are angels?
I love the question. Angels are just like our soul. I always remember when I was asked that question first, what are angels? And the only way I can answer that is angels were created by God long, long ago before anything else. And they're creatures. And I was told to use the word creature. And I used to feel very, embarrassed about that, because angels are beautiful. They are this incredible light, and they give a human appearance within that light for us. But that human appearance is, that light, that color they give, even if on occasions they show me their wings, which is only on occasions, they're always incredible. I find it very hard to describe them. It's like as if you could step into an angel and carry on. And their eyes, I always describe their eyes like the stars in the universe. And again, it's like they're so full of light, their eyes. It's like as if you could step into them and walk down a road of wisdom in that way. And angels are neither male or female. They're neither. And I love that. And I see the guardian angel with every human being, no matter what religion they are, or even if they don't believe. And to me, that is incredible. God has given us the gift of a guardian angel, and for so long we kind of ignored that gift. But your guardian angel is there with you. It's the gatekeeper of your soul, that spark of light of God. And its job is to bring that soul back home to God when your human body dies. But we're meant to live life. And one thing I love about the guardian angel, they don't judge you. They love you unconditionally. And that unconditional love is beyond everyone's expectation in any way at all. Because to your guardian angel, it only has eyes for you alone, not for any other human being in the world, just you, your guardian angel. And to your guardian angel, you are unique and perfect and beautiful in every single way. And I would love each and every one of us to see ourselves as our guardian angel sees us, and all the angels and even souls of loved ones love to be in and around us as well. And I know that is because we have a soul. If I traveled somewhere in the world now and saw a human being without a guardian angel, I would be so shocked. I would be so devastated. I've never seen a human being without a guardian angel, and I have traveled quite a lot to so many different countries all across the world, and of course America as well, and Canada. Haven't gone to Australia, but yet I know lots of people from Australia come here as well. But everyone has a guardian angel. And I just love, when I was a young child, standing with Archangel Michael, and he's saying, Lorna, look up at the sky. And God had shown me before, these beautiful angels, tumbling down from the heavens. And I named them unemployed angels. And I know I named them unemployed angels because my dad was unemployed at different times, so I called them unemployed angels. And the thing is, they're still tumbling down from the heavens. It's like as if God overturns these enormous buckets and they come tumbling down. And just as they reach the earth, it's like, they unwind, they open up. And I see them with everybody helping us with our trivial things. And all we have to do is call on them, and they're right there. And now, since I wrote about them, people are sending unemployed angels all over the world. And that's lovely. And you have to remember, you can send an unemployed angel, you can ask for help for someone, and it doesn't matter what country they're in or what religion they are or whether they believe in angels or not. You have a guardian angel, and you can send an unemployed angel to anyone in the world, or thousands of them in that way.
Are guardian angels family members, or are they angels?
No, they're not family members. And, so many times, a parent would say, my child is an angel in heaven, or a young person might say they were so connected to their granny or granda, and that they might say, are they my guardian angel because I feel their presence all the time? No, they're not your guardian angel, because, how would I say this? Your soul is billions of times more than any guardian angel ever could be. That's why the angels love to be in and around us, because your soul is that spark of light of God. But the angels love when a mom or dad says, my little one is an angel in heaven. They tell me that's an expression of love. And I think it's beautiful. Or when a young man or young woman comes up to me and says, I always believed my granny or granda or, another member of the family was their guardian angel, but now they know that they were feeling the presence of the soul of the one that they had loved. It's an expression of love, and I still hear that today, many parents saying, the same thing, my loved one is an angel in heaven, but you are billions of times more than any angel ever could be. And I love the way mankind, in one sense, put the angels on pedestals, but I smile because the angels have each and every one of us on a pedestal billions of times higher than the pedestal we have put the angels on.
Wow.
I grew up really in a harsh environment, and I started praying to God when I was in 6. I ran away in the doghouse, and I would just cower there with the dog and have these conversations with God, asking where he was. And when I was 12, I had my very first powerful dream, where Jesus came down with 12 angels. and each angel was on its own cloud, and they were all surrounding Jesus, and the music and the beauty and the light, and it was so, I have goosebumps just thinking about it. It was so incredible as they all floated down, and like I lived across the church, and they all floated down on the church grounds, and Jesus was like, Kathy, come. And I put my hand on my hip. I'm like, where were you? I've been looking for you. I've been waiting a long time. As I was 12 years old, and he says, come, my child. So as I go running to these angels and Jesus, I realized that everybody in the town, all my friends and schoolmates and everybody, they were stopped. They were frozen in time, and they couldn't go. And so I stopped running, and I was just devastated. I'm like, oh, like, how come they're not coming? And the look of compassion on his face was, he's like, it's not their time. They're not ready, but you are, my child. So come. So who might say no to Jesus, right? So I go running, and then I went up in the sky with the angels. But to this day, that dream has helped me get through the hard times in my life. It has enabled me to recognize there's a power out there greater than myself. There's that spiritual realm that is available to us all if only we ask.
Yes, and it is, I would always say to ask. That was a powerful dream at the age of 12. God gave you, letting you know that the angels are real and you're not abandoned and God is real. And that just reminds me of the first time I was asked by a bishop, priests, like imams, ministers. I was so shocked when they asked me the question. And they did it privately, in the sense like they came to a retreat or to a talk, and they'd catch you maybe out in the corridor and they would say to you, Lorna, is God real? I remember when that was said the first time, I was shocked, because a bishop or a priest or an imam or a minister, they're well educated. Surely, I just said, but don't you know God is real? I was so shocked, and they looked at me, and they just said, well, we want to hear it from you. God is real. And I love your dream where God was showing you that God is real and you are never abandoned. God was there all of the time, and he had you surrounded by angels. And I know your guardian angel was there. And I love the thing about the guardian angel. Other angels come and go, but your guardian angel can never leave your side for 1 second.
I have a question. Is it possible that, because this is an ongoing theme in my life and in my family, true story, is it possible to have a few guardian angels? Because my life, I should be dead 10 times over. I've had extreme violence, extreme traumas happen to me, and there's always seemed to have an appearance of a person, different person, but the light in their eyes was the same, if that makes sense. So it's as if there was a different angel helping me throughout my trials and tribulations. But even though the physicality was different, it was the same light in the eyes.
It could have been your guardian angel each time, but
okay.
I do love where, the report comes in, sometimes someone is in such a situation or life and death threat, and they turn around and say to the rescue workers, the people that were rescuing them, they turn around and say, where's the man or woman that was here before you came? And the rescue workers look at them and say, we're first on the scene. There was nobody here. That was an angel. And that could have been their guardian angel, just giving, because they're neither male or female, giving the appearance of what you need at that time. But I love another thing as well. Your guardian angel will have other angels in and around you. And maybe it wasn't your guardian angel every time. Maybe it was another angel that was
that's what my mom says. She kept saying, it was to the point, because the common theme is that your guardian angels, are so tired, Kathy, that they have to take turns. Like, now it's your turn, right? And so there was my daughter bought me for my 50th birthday, I kid you not, this giant statue. It's more like a memorial statue, which is, I don't know, maybe 3-4 feet high and a couple feet wide of an angel. But the angel has her hand on her forehead and looking down, kind of like, oh my God, really, Kathy? Like, really? Her hand on her hip, and she's looking down like, oh my God, again? Like, when are you gonna learn?
Well, I love you saying that, because angels do have good humor,
Yeah.
So I think
man.
whoever made that statue for you had good humor, was listening to the angel,
Yeah.
and done it like that.
You're
And your
exhausting,
daughter,
Kathy. Stop it already.
no, you only have one guardian angel,
Yeah.
because it can never leave you for 1 second, because it's the gatekeeper of your soul. But yes, it would, what your mom said, call in other angels at different times. But your guardian angel, I love the way your mom said, your guardian angel was getting tired.
Oh, yeah.
They never get tired, but that's beautiful.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I have one question for you. Do you want to stop worrying about the IRS? If the answer is yes, then look no further. I've been around for years. I've helped countless people across the country, and my success rate speaks for itself. So now you know where to find good, honest help with your tax problems. What are you waiting for? If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed in years, call me now at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com for a free consultation and get your life back.
Industry movement Trucking Moves America Forward is telling the story of the industry. Our safety champions, the women of trucking, independent contractors, the next generation of truckers, and more. Help us promote the best of our industry. Share your story and what you love about trucking. Share images of a moment you're proud of. And join us on social media. Learn more at truckingmovesamerica.com.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
If you're enjoying this informative episode of Women Road Warriors, I wanted to mention Kathy and I explore all kinds of topics that will power you on the road to success. We feature a lot of expert interviews. Plus, we feature celebrities and women who've been trailblazers. Please check out our podcast at womenroadwarriors.com and click on our episodes page. We're also available wherever you listen to podcasts, on all the major podcast channels like Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon Music, Audible, you name it. Check us out and bookmark our podcast. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, and other sites. And tell others about us. We want to help as many women as possible. According to Lorna Byrne, our guardian angel is the gatekeeper of our souls, and its job is to bring our soul back home. Guardian angels don't judge us. They love us unconditionally. We've been talking with Lorna, who sees and speaks to angels and teaches people how to connect to them. She's the author of many international bestsellers, including Angels in My Hair, the true story of a modern-day Irish mystic. She tells us that guardian angels view us as perfect and beautiful. We can't always see our guardian angel, but Lorna sees people's angels and has seen them all around the world. Guardian angels are here to help us, and all we need to do is ask for help. Help comes in some mysterious ways, too, that we can't always explain. Kathy, you've had some interesting experiences.
I have 12 years sober, and in between that time, I ended up drunk and homeless on the streets, and I'd lost everything I owned. I was very depressed. I tried to kill myself. I don't remember doing it, but my arm is all slashed up. And I finally made a decision after meeting what I call one of my guardian angels. His name is Toothless Joe. He had slapped me on the back, and this is in a very dismal area, and he's the only man. He's there. Toothless Joe slaps me on the back and says, "This is the life, live it, love it." When he did that, as soon as he touched my back, it's as if my whole decades of fog, of depression, of misery. It just dropped and it shattered into a million pieces. And I saw crystal clear. I can't explain it. And what I saw, I'm looking around my very dismal surroundings, and I look at him and I'm like, what did you just say? I'm like, this? Because he was saying, this is the life. I'm like, this is not my life. Like, and I knew there's a greater purpose to my life. And standing there, drunk and homeless, was not it. I said, this is not my life. So I turned around, I went to the hospital, I detoxed, and then I went back to this women's program where you live there for a year and you undergo extensive treatment. You have to unlearn everything and relearn everything. But I was so sick that initial first 2 weeks that I was at the women's center. There was an angel, and I don't talk about this. I've never even told you, Shelley. There's an angel every night that I would wake up at about 3 a.m. There was this beautiful white glow of a light. I saw a woman with long gold hair, and she was reading out of a book of light to me, and it was healing me for some reason. And, well, not for some reason. And it was every night for about a week straight that I would wake up, and then she would be there, and the soothingness, and there was kind of like this music. It was like a melody. It's very difficult to explain, but all I knew was that I was loved, and loved to a point that no physical person can love. Like, it was beyond anything physical. And that was what was healing me.
That is absolutely beautiful. And I loved the way you said it was between 3 o'clock, because I call that the Wakening Hour. And that's where a lot of things like that happen. And it's, I've never said it publicly, like it's the first time, between 3 and 5, but a lot of the time it's between 3 and 4, or somebody could wake at 10 past 3, half 3, and have a spiritual experience, a healing. But that's a beautiful story.
It's the love. It's the love that was healing me.
It is, and that's what you have to remember. God is pure love. The angels are pure love, and that's what your soul is. That spark of light of God, is pure love. And I just love the way the angel touched you on the back, and that miracle happened. The realization that you didn't want the life that you were having. You wanted to change it, and gave you the courage and the strength that you needed. Because I would say during that time when you were, I don't know whether you call it rehab or the women's center, you needed courage and strength that time as well, because I'd say that was hard.
It was very hard. It was extremely, but it was the best thing I've ever done, because I literally had to unravel everything that I had learned, and then relearn who I was, and then, accept it all, and then, try and figure out what I'm going to do with my life. But had I not had, over my entire life, had I not had the series of spiritual experiences, or my guardian angels being with me throughout the course. And here's another one that I'll tell you. I was gang raped when I was 19, and I was going to jump off a bridge in Montreal, and I didn't want to die, but I was in so much pain, and I didn't know how to voice it. I felt so alone. I didn't know how to get the help I needed. And so I had one leg over the bridge, and I'm cursing God, cursing.
Yeah.
Like, I hate you. Like, I'm such a good person. I'm so nice. How could you let this happen? I'm just like, I'm screaming, right? And as I have one leg over to jump, I see out of my peripheral vision on the left, there's this man walking a bike, and he's got this glow to him. And I can't explain it, but he just walks along. He puts the bike down, and he very gently pulls me off the bridge, and he pulls me down and sits with me, and he had his arm around me. He never said a word, not one. And he just held me. And whatever aura he had, the presence that was so powerful that it soothed my aching soul. It soothed the throbbing pain that I was experiencing, the ripping heartache, the brutality. And at one point I made a running jump to try and jump again. And once again, he pulled me over and just sat. I don't know how long we sat there. He never said a word. And at some point he got up, he lifted me up with the hands, and he walked me off the bridge. And we're in a part of Montreal where there's nothing. And lo and behold, if there wasn't a taxi cab at the base of the bridge parked waiting for me. And all he said, he opened the door, he sit me in the back, he told the cab driver, bring her to the hospital. And that's it. And I went to the hospital and got the help that I needed. But tell me that's not a guardian angel. That was.
That was an angel sent to help you. Or sometimes it is where a human being is told to go and show such love and kindness, and he responded in that way. Like, they're incredible stories that I know will help other women out there, and especially women, because being gang raped, that was horrific. Like,
it was.
And he came at the right time. But look at you now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now,
if only Jesus Joe could see me now. That's what I say a lot.
Yeah, like you're incredible. No matter what other little ups and downs you're going through, but look at you now, and it's like, you've been given so many signs, and things have been proven so many times. I love the way God proves things to us, but a lot of the time we ignore them.
You must hear so many stories from people all around the world who've seen angels. I'm not the only one. Almost everybody does, I would think.
Angels are some sort of divine intervention that people can't explain. And I think a lot of people may say, what was that? They aren't used to it. How does somebody even know it was a guardian angel or anything divine?
I think everyone knows, just like yourself there, it was, there was just something different about them. And I always say they always look, what would I say, brand new. Even if their clothes were dirty, it would look still brand new in that way. And of course they have that love, that gentleness, that glow. And everybody reports that. And I think nowadays it's lovely the way, I know technology is in, and it's good and it's bad. It's a mixture. But technology is giving people the opportunity to share that they have seen an angel or something they don't understand where that person came from, to give them a helping hand, or where the courage came from, or where the sign. I always remember a lady telling me when she was about 10 or 12 years of age, she was in the back seat of her mom and dad's car, and she says, I've never told anyone, I'm 50 now, or she was 60. I was always so afraid to say anything in case somebody turned around and said I was mad and crazy. And you go back a number of years, and that's exactly what people would say, but people are not saying it as much. And she just said, her dad was driving and her mom was talking, and she was sitting in the back of the car. And the next minute, her dad lost control of the car. And she just said, I saw an angel appeared in front of the car, and it had its hands on the bonnet and stopped the car from going over the cliff.
Wow.
She just said, this is the first time I've ever told that story to anybody. But she said, I feel safe, I can tell it to you, Lorna, because you're not going to ridicule me or laugh at me or say it was all my imagination. But she said she swears to this day that she saw that angel as clear as anything, and those hands, enormous hands, full of light on the bonnet of the car, and the angel slowing the car down and stopping it. And the car, she said, stopped right on the edge.
Wow.
And they were fine. Nobody got hurt or anything like that. And I think we have to have more courage and more faith And it doesn't matter what religion you are. You know, God is real. You have a guardian angel that never leaves you for a second. So it's everywhere with you. So you're not alone. It's like the little girl who said to me a few years ago, and this has happened more than once. She said, you know, I've been telling Mommy that Daddy didn't die alone, that his guardian angel was right there with him. And I remember the day the little girl having her mom with her, and she's saying, now, Lorna, will you tell my Mommy Daddy didn't die alone? Because she said, I have seen my daddy and his guardian angel. They came into my bedroom. You know, when you hear stories like that from a child, you know, trying to comfort the mother who was grieving so much because of where Daddy had died, that gives us hope.
Yes, it does.
We're not alone. If a child is not afraid to say, you know, those words, my daddy didn't die alone. His guardian angel was right there with him and took him home to heaven.
Children are very in tune
They
with
are.
the spiritual world, but it's the parents who, oh, hush, you're
discourage it.
mad. They discourage it, right? Don't talk about that. Like that, you know, it's foolishness, things like that.
We should talk about it more. Because the world needs hope, and we need hope to be spread all across the world. Just
well,
like
especially today. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hope is so necessary. Lorna, there was an experience I had that was a number of years ago. My mother actually had gotten encephalitis, and she was in a coma for 30 days in the hospital. And of course, I was going in there and talking to her just about every day. And the nurses finally called me and they said, she's up and she's talking. And of course, I went rushing to the hospital, and I'm walking to her room, and there's this woman who comes out of the room, and she looks familiar to me, and she's just beaming. She's just smiling and looks at me. We cross in the hallway, and I'm walking toward my mother's room, and I thought, I know that person somehow. And I look behind me, and this woman's gone, and there was no way she could have taken a side hallway or anything else. It was like she just went poof. And I was talking to my mother. She was just as normal as could be. And I remember a little bit later, she said, who was that woman? And it was right after Mom had come out of her coma. And this woman looked at me, and there's no way that she could have physically zoomed down that hallway to disappear like that. Was that an angel?
Wow.
Yes, I'm being told to say to you, yes. And it wasn't only the angel that was there, that there were souls of loved ones as well, but they had already gone. But again, that was a sign for you as well, for you to have faith and courage and strength in your life, and to see the miracle and recognize the miracle with your mom. Like encephalitis, you know, that's deadly. You know,
yes,
and
it is.
Your mom got better. You know, what a miracle. And again, it's giving thanks for the miracle that has happened, even though, you know, encephalitis was negative, but giving thanks for that blessing that she got through it, you know.
And I had been doing a lot of praying, and because the doctors essentially did not think she would survive. I mean, she had all the odds against her. And there were even medical personnel that said, this is, you know, a foregone conclusion. If you could imagine medical personnel saying that, that was actually said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they think that way with I can't pronounce it properly, encephalitis, a lot of the time, because it's very deadly. But, you know, when a miracle happens, and prayer is extremely powerful, you know, prayer can be one word. I'm all the time telling people we should be praying more. You could be, you know, sitting in your car and you can be talking to God. That's a prayer. You can be asking for, you know, help for someone else, or help in the world somewhere, or help for yourself. Prayer can move mountains. It's extremely powerful, but we don't do enough of it, because it's like in the world today, it's kind of like, well, Marianne is, or John is always praying, Asher, leave him alone. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of brushed away in that way. and we have forgotten the strength and the power of prayer itself.
That is so very true. I think that we've become more scientific in the way we think over the decades.
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I can't. No,
Yeah.
my whole life is based around my spirituality and it's not about material things. It's not about the money you make. It's about the difference that you make in the world. And that's why I do so much charity and so much giving back to the sufferings, because I suffered so much. And I understand that when you need that suffering, that helping hand is such a necessity. So I do what I can. I would not be here today if I did not have those many guardian angels guiding me.
Yeah.
I seriously would not.
I thank God for all of the angels that came in and helped you. And I'm just telling your guardian angel to, work many more miracles for you in whatever way that's needed in your life for you to, what would I say, achieve all that you need to achieve within yourself, And I'm always telling people, things we're always looking for, we can't buy. And that's hope. That's courage, that's strength, that's empathy, that's peace, and it's like as if you have received all of them because you let your soul free within yourself, your own spirituality, and you didn't shun the connection spiritually to your guardian angel or the other angels that came in around you, or God, both of you. God has given you so many experiences, and now you're two women out there. It's like, how would I say, powerful and, pushing forward, but not just how would I say it? I've been told to say it's like you're a symbol of power for other women in the world to give them encouragement, regardless of whether they're a child or a girl or a fully grown woman or an older woman, I always remember there back a while ago, a lady in her 70s, saying that she wishes that she could have been free spiritually when she was younger because it would have made a huge difference in her life. She was giving out to God that she had to wait now till she was 70 for this to happen. But then she turned around and she said, no, I can't blame God. I have to blame the world, and I have to blame myself, and I have to blame those that were in my life. And then she said, but I need to forgive myself for blaming myself as well, of letting it go and just enjoying the knowledge and the wisdom and that feeling she has now of her own spirituality, her own soul, her own connection to God. And I loved it because I'm Catholic, but she was Muslim, and I, I just loved it. I just loved it.
Stay tuned for more of Women Road Warriors coming up.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I have one question for you. Do you want to stop worrying about the IRS? If the answer is yes, then look no further. I've been around for years. I've helped countless people across the country, and my success rate speaks for itself. So now you know where to find good, honest help with your tax problems. What are you waiting for? If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed in years, call me now at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com for a free consultation and get your life back.
Industry movement Trucking Moves America Forward is telling the story of the industry. Our safety champions, the women of trucking, independent contractors, the next generation of truckers, and more. Help us promote the best of our industry. Share your story and what you love about trucking. Share images of a moment you're proud of. And join us on social media. Learn more at truckingmovesamerica.com.
Welcome back to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro.
Angels are pure love and the spark of the light of God. They're here to guide us through our lives. Guardian angels never leave our side. They give us strength and courage when we need it. Angels can come out of nowhere and help us in emergency situations and places where we least expect it, and we have no explanation for their presence or where they came from. God proves many things and helps us in this way. Too often, humans ignore these signs. Lorna Byrne sees angels and wants people to be aware of these signs and our guardian angels and know the power of prayer. The things we're truly looking for, we cannot buy. That's hope, courage, love, empathy, and peace. Lorna's teaching us how to achieve them with the messages she's learned. Her books Angels in My Hair, Stairways to Heaven, A Message of Hope from the Angels and Love from Heaven have been translated into 30 languages.
So do you see angels around people, Lorna? Do you see them everywhere?
I do. While I'm in the office here now, well, it's a little bedroom, but I know if I was out somewhere or in a shop, I'd see all the people, but I would see their guardian angel physically as well there. But I would see, if there was other angels coming and going, I would see them physically as well. To me, I don't understand why you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose, like I always say, from the moment I opened my eyes, I've seen angels.
That's such a blessing.
It's normal for me, but you have to remember I was considered retarded and still was until Angels in My Hair came out. And still, even when Angels in My Hair came out, a lot of people would have said, oh, she's nuts or she's retarded. I'm severely dyslexic, so don't give me a book to read because I can't read it for you.
Mm-hmm.
If signs change or anything like that, because I can't read them. Like, I've often gone into the men's loo where the picture changed that would normally have been on the door. So it would have caused, is that man or a woman? In that way. So I know everyone in the world should be able to see angels the same as I do.
Is it that we're too stubborn to see them?
I don't think it is. I just think it is that over thousands of years we've been told, spirituality only belongs to, what would you say, the religious. And yet I've had the religious come to me and ask me, is God real?
That's very interesting. That's really profound. Yes.
Yeah.
That gave me a terrible shock. So I'm still kind of in shock. But there, when my grandson just made his confirmation, a beautiful bishop, and it was the first time, but now he's a young bishop. It was lovely to hear him speak to the parents of the children and say to the parents, that they mustn't forget to help to make sure that the children's spirituality grows. I have never heard the full word be used before, spirituality. He used it so many times in his conversation about the children and the parents. So to me, that's a little opening, through a young bishop. And
it's an acknowledgement.
Yeah, it is.
Very wise.
Yeah, and I always remember when Angels in My Hair came out, and I don't know many years after now, but I got a phone call to go on the TV because the Pope spoke about the guardian angel. It became, in Europe, big news, like the Pope has spoken about the guardian angel, and they asked me would I go on the show to talk about what the Pope had said. Yes, angels are real, God is real, and you have a soul, a spark of light of God, and your guardian angel, that one guardian angel, is the gatekeeper of your soul, and it can never leave you for 1 second, and it loves you unconditionally. It only has eyes for you. You are its number one. And other angels come and go all the time. And I suppose that's where people get mixed up in that sense, like yourself. This is another guardian angel, but
Yeah.
I
Turns, right?
suppose I suppose your main guardian angel is the one that never leaves you, but God has other angels that are there to help you all of the time as well, and they're called in even before you need the help. So I know those angels that came to help you at different times, both of you, were called in well before, so they would be there at the right moment, just like, the man on the bike,
Yeah.
everything was set in motion to give you courage. But again, it would have been your free will, your choice not to jump off the bridge. And he was there to encourage you not to.
So, Lorna, we have just a few minutes left, and I know there's so many questions I have for you. I know that people are probably wondering, how do they connect with their guardian angel? And I know that you also do sanctuaries and are there seminars? I would love to have people reach out to you. But I guess the first question, how do we find our guardian angel?
I think the first thing you just do is acknowledge you have a guardian angel. The first thing, what have you got to lose? Nothing whatsoever, but to discover that there's more to life in that way. Ask your guardian angel for a sign. Now, not to win the lotto or something like that, because sometimes your guardian angel has to get another human being, so another human being has to listen to their guardian angel. Say you asked for flowers. You won't get the flowers unless the other person listens. So this is what I always say to someone. If you get the feeling that you should ring Mary or John or say hello to someone, go and do it. Don't ask why, because they could have asked for that sign.
Okay.
It's like a child, like feather is the most common sign that the angels give.
Feathers?
Feather, yes.
Okay.
But sometimes someone asks for a flower or flowers. They've asked for a bouquet of flowers, but the angels haven't been able to get another human being to actually do that. But children are absolutely marvelous. A child will do will pull a daisy or a buttercup or something and walk over to a stranger and hand it to them. That's your sign, your flower. But a lot of adults will say thank you to the child, say how cute, walk on and drop it on the ground.
Yeah, they do.
Just even say good morning to your guardian angel, and maybe at the end of the day or the end of the week, think back and notice how many times you were helped that day or that week.
I have a dream team. That's how they help me. I have that many. I call them my dream team.
That always works to have a team, no doubt about that.
Yes, definitely. I what else you asked?
Oh, I wanted to know, how can people reach you? Because I'm sure that there are going to be many that want to reach out.
You just go on lornabyrne.com. And if you want to find out some of the things I'm doing, go on to the events page. That's as much as I know. And I know I'm going to be in New York or Omega, if I'm pronouncing it properly, from the 26th to the 28th of July. And it's going to be on hope and spirituality within us. And then I will be at the Art of Living, which is in, I was told, I'm trying to pronounce the words, North Carolina. And that's on hope and love within us as well. So I'm looking forward to going to America and going to those places and meeting people. But one thing I do love, and that is so many Americans come to Ireland, to Sanctuary, to the workshops. We could have a 3-day retreat. We could have, a 5-day retreat. And we're planning on so many other things to happen. I always say, none of this is my plan. None of this is all God's plan. Because it's just such a miracle how it has all happened. And I'm kind of dumbfounded in that way. But, I think it is this Saturday we're actually having an afternoon tea, to help children in the world. So we're all the time getting so busy at the sanctuary, but you will find all the information you want on lornabyrne.com.
Do you work with people remotely through Zoom?
Sometimes I do an event on Zoom as well. So you have to kind of watch out for when any of those are coming up as well. And then I travel, but I'm going to be traveling less because I was traveling 6 to 9 months out of the year and it was just getting too much. But I'm going to be in New York in Omega and the Art of Living this year.
Wonderful.
In July and August.
You are definitely God's messenger.
Well, I want, I just want to love everybody. I don't care who you are, what you believe in, or what you've done. I love you anyway. It doesn't matter.
That is what our world needs. There's way too much hatred out there. Love should prevail.
Yes, and love will.
That's encouraging. Well, especially with people like you spreading this message and hope.
And yourselves. Remember, you're part of it too. Like, that's what I say to everybody. Every podcast I do or every show, you're all part of it, of putting goodness out into the world and wiping out hate and anger. It's like a child saying to me, or a 20-year-old saying, I've never been hugged before. No one has ever told me they love me. Not even their parents. Like, we need to tell each other we love each other because we do. And everyone has that spark of light of God soul, and everyone has a guardian angel. And we can do it. I know we can. I won't give up on the world, on anybody. And nature is such an incredible gift that God has given us.
Yes.
I don't want to keep on talking because I'd probably wear everybody out. But we have an incredible future ahead of us. All of us have. Our whole world has. We just have to bring a little bit more love in and not to be wanting hate for the past or what has just happened. We need to forgive ourselves and forgive others and reach out. Be the good Samaritan, to everyone.
Amen to that. Thank you for your message of hope, Lorna. This is wonderful.
Absolutely uplifting in every way. What a wonderful thing to wake up to.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Lorna. You are a true blessing. We hope you've enjoyed this latest episode. And if you want to hear more episodes of Women Road Warriors or learn more about our show, be sure to check out womenroadwarriors.com. And please follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. On our website, we also have a selection of podcasts just for women. There are a series of podcasts from different podcasters. So if you're in the mood for women's podcasts, just click the Power Network tab on womenroadwarriors.com. You'll have a variety of shows to listen to anytime you want to. Podcasts made for women. Women Road Warriors is on all the major podcast channels like Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, YouTube, and others. So check us out, and please follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Women Road Warriors with Shelley Johnson and Kathy Tuccaro. If you want to be a guest on the show or have a topic or feedback, email us at sjohnson@womenroadwarriors.com.